This is the new. All right. Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to Black Haze Unapologetic. It's your boy Black Haze coming to you from the Black Cave, black and better than ever. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I have a great show for you today. I have a very wonderful guest, a good friend of mine. She's going to give us a lot of insight, good information, and she's just a wonderful person all the way around. Mika, welcome to the Black Cave. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate it.
Hey, I'm honored to have you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. The thing I want to talk to you about first, and then we can discuss anything else that's on the table, but I have to get your insight, your opinion, your feelings on walking back Roe versus Wade. Tell me how you feel, what you want to have known about it, and what we can do to combat that horrendous decision made by the Supreme Court.
Okay, it's very disheartening to be living in 2022, right? And we, out of all the things that the Supreme Court could have thought about to address, they chose to address abortion.
Right. Yeah.
Not just address abortion, but like you said, reverse a ruling that was, that was decided so many years ago.
Yeah,
I think
1978. Yeah,
1978, a year before I was even born.
Great, yeah, January 22nd to be exact, 1978.
Yeah, this was already decided, and I feel as though this is a diversionary distraction tactic on over some major issues and some things that are really going on in this country. Like I said, there are so many other things that need to be addressed by the Supreme Court. Number one is the unfair treatment of our Black and brown individuals by the police. They should be doing rulings on that instead of trying to take away our right to make decisions with our own bodies. That's what I have a problem with. See, we're in the corporation of America. This is not a country. They don't care about the human beings here. They care about how the human beings can make more money for the 1%. But we, as the rest, we got to be more awake and really pay attention to what's going on. Yeah. Let's think about it. Common sense. Why would somebody go out there and tell their grandmama what to do with their vagina or the reproductive organs? No, that's out of balance. That's disrespectful. And it's very oppressive.
That's 100%.
I feel as though the country, men, women, powers that be do not have the right to do that. Above the corporation of America, we're human beings. We are all spiritual beings in a physical shell. Therefore, we have certain capabilities that they are consistently trying to distract us from recognizing that we have. Case in point, and I know I'm tangenting off a bit. I'm gonna come back to abortion.
That's all right. You're all right, dude. That's all right. We just talking right here. You're hitting on some very pivotal things. So don't stop yourself. Just keep on talking how you're talking. I love it. Let's go.
Cool. So let's take history back a little bit. And I'm not a history buff, but I definitely would love to connect you with people who taught me, some very powerful individuals that taught me this. Okay. We're in our own country. We all derive from an African woman, not a Caucasian male, but an African woman.
Come on.
Our creator doesn't make mistakes. Humans do. In our egotistical thinking that we know everything. No, our creator created this earth. Everyone came from an African woman.
Yes.
Over a period of time, our African continent was pillaged. It was people were taking things, different nationalities. We all know about the slave trade, and no, it's not just Europe that did it, it's other countries too. However, we have different ancestors that were displaced amongst the islands and then here in America, right?
That's it.
They wrote the history books as if that's the first time the Africans had been to this country, when we all know the Native Americans are also ancestors from Africa.
Come on.
Okay,
Speak
so here
on.
we are in 2022. We done been through the false hope of affirmative action. We've been through the feminist movement. We've been through all of these things that make it look like the government is really trying to help us and make things equal, but we're not. So y'all, let's not be confused about this abortion issue. It is a distraction.
Right.
Number one. Number two, is wrong though, that it would even come up, like I said, because there are other things that the Supreme Court needs to be focused on. So keep in mind, we are spiritual beings in a physical shell. There are certain things that our ancestors did to create civilization that the Europeans took and made it seem like it's their own. One of the things is not from us, is oppressing people and telling women what to do with their organs and the reproductive cycle that they're blessed with having. No one has a right to tell a female if she should keep a child or not. Now, I saw a post that was so insensitive on social media, and the gentleman said, well, you never know if that child of that rape will be the biggest blessing of a female's life. But number one, sir, you don't have the right to speak on that, because as a woman, you haven't been raped. You don't know the psychological and physiological effects, the trauma that not just happens to the female, but to the unborn fetus.
Right.
Now, how can a male with a penis try and tell another female she needs to be happy when a man takes her innocence and leaves her to take care of a child by herself? No. So I don't get that argument. I don't get the argument that husbands have a right to tell their wives what to do. I don't get that argument either. I don't get the argument that, oh, you're going against what God's will is. So excuse me, religious individuals, especially those religious individuals where your ancestors your ancestors broke two of the major commandments, right? Thou shalt not steal and thou shalt not kill. So don't come to me. Don't try and come to us with this argument. Oh, it's against God's commandments. When your ancestors, the reasons that you were up here in the millions categories, because your family came from years and years and years of free slave labor.
Come on.
Don't try to compare that. There is no comparison. So to me, when you come and say, oh, abortion, not you, Todd, but the other side, oh, abortion is against, the commandments, so is how y'all got here into this country when our people were already inhabiting this country. So to me, there's no argument for the other side. How dare any man or any female try to tell another person to do with their reproductive organs? Let me also bring this point up to fact. How many baby daddies we got out here? And I ain't talking about just Black men neither. I'm talking about the white men. I'm talking about all races. How many irresponsible baby daddies we got out here?
Come on.
Way too many.
Come on.
Way too many. So you mean to tell me that we're going to keep populating this earth and it's just going to be okay? Are we going to put a cap on the penises? The number of times you're able to have sex unprotected and not take care of your children? Because you know what? That trifling child support system does not work. So that's not an answer either. So when we use common sense in this instance, somebody needs to tell me why in the hell is the topic abortion when it needs to be something more serious, like protecting the people who actually live here. So the corporation of America, stop playing games. You don't care about your people. You care about money. So if you want the country to make more money, make it make sense for us to make more money on your soil. Or what's going to end up happening is destruction. And I really think that's on the way. Those religious individuals, it says it in the Bible, if I'm not mistaken, destruction comes after haughtiness. Haughtiness is pride.
Okay.
That's a Bible verse. That's one of the things I did remember. That was
I'm sorry, you talking. Sorry, I can't help you with that one. I'm not well versed in the Bible like I used to be. I don't
me
know.
either, but that is
That sounds
definitely
all
one
right
thing
there.
I remembered, because that's a nugget I always say. I understand why I need to have a certain balance of humility and confidence and not be prideful, because I'm something. I am doing something productive, and I want to make sure that what we do doesn't get destroyed. So back to this situation of abortion, I really think it needs to be some formalized movements, but not just around abortion, about the bullshits, about the bullshit that corporate America is doing to the people that live here. They need to have some type of accountability. They need, and yeah, I'm talking about past the politicians, because we are obviously see, when I talk to the individuals, y'all, when I talk to people about abortion, I don't know anybody that agrees with that ruling. Now, granted, I don't know the most people, in the country. I don't know everybody, but the people I know, the people that vote, then I'm talking about the people outside of the state, because Virginia is different. Our abortion is still legal, but I'm talking about on a federal level in other states. So politics is not it. I mean, maybe we can put some pressure on them, but I'm talking about a collaborative movement where we have a mind shift, where we recognize that, no, we're not oppressed. We are creators.
Right.
Most High created us with the ability to create.
There are a couple.
Go ahead.
I wanted to go back to something you said initially. A lot of very important things that you stated. One of the things that really caught me that you hit so solidly on the head was, what's the distraction about? The fact that we are, and you can generate this if you ever do any research on why we have social security numbers, a corporation, and we are the cogs of that wheel that keeps the certain hierarchy and power. When you look at what the Supreme Court should be dealing with, how Roe versus Wade leapfrogged and jumped to the top of that list, it does question what are they trying to distract you from? What's the crux of the importance of throwing us back, over 4 decades? How did that be a priority, and why is there a distraction? I think about this, and I'm a man, of course, but the thing I've always known, no matter what side of the fence you land on, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, legalizing abortion in 1978 didn't have anything to do with women having abortions. It just made it safer and healthier for them to have abortions. You could ban abortion on this whole planet. It's not going to stop women having abortions. It's going to stop women from being able to be safe, have, controlled, healthy. Well, not healthy is the wrong word to use in that context, but it's not going to stop women from having abortions. Literally, you can go back and there's horror stories of women, what they used to have to do to, terminate a pregnancy. And again, how this gets passed, gun laws that need to be passed, like you said, there's civil injustice that our people fall at the hands of the police, all that stuff. And you're talking about Roe versus Wade in 2022. I just love the fact that you brought all that up. And then the other thing that you said that really caught me was the people standing in front of the lecterns and the pulpits. It's not just the politicians.
Right.
Nobody has a right to impose their beliefs on me. I can't gauge your comfort level, Mika, on how you feel about a certain thing. Abortion, getting pregnant, your right to vote, drive, sit, worship, all that stuff. I appreciate you bringing all that up, and please continue. I just wanted to make mention of those things, just in case people didn't get those. You really need to focus on what she's saying about those things, because those things are important to how you go forward and protect yourself against them coming to take what we have fought so hard to maintain. Please continue.
Yeah, thank you, because I'll tangent off.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You are fine. Very, very well. I love it all. Keep going.
You have mentioned a distraction. What is it? Human trafficking is real prevalent.
Yeah, just have 46 people found in a container died. A couple of days ago.
And you trying to tell, and they expect us to believe that they ain't know about that.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
on. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on now.
That's 100%. And then, you know, it all ties in together because it was, I want to say it's 2016. It was 1916. What's her name? Margaret Granger, a horrible woman. That's the woman. She's best known for starting Planned Parenthood. Now, actually, she started in 16. It was called the American Birth Control League. That's what it was started out as. And then in 1922, it was changed to what we know as Planned Parenthood. You know, that was specifically geared toward minorities as far as being able to gentrify us. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know about Margaret Granger. Yeah, she was a horrible woman. Now, Planned Parenthood, don't get me wrong, in its current form has done a lot of good, but the genesis of that had us as a target.
Wow.
So when you start looking at like Roe versus Wade and what they're doing and what they're trying to get towards, you gotta look behind the curtain and say, where is this going? You know,
that's right.
What's the end result with this? Like,
so that's interesting you said that though, because check this out. Me and my kids were talking about this. And of course, you know, we all agree, you know, it should be the individual's choice, you know, what they do with their own body. But you know, what trips me out is how it's always something that makes it on the surface. It's like, oh, this is for your protection. But really, it's like they are systematically still trying to defeat us. I'm talking about melanated individuals.
Come on.
Let's just put it on out there. You know, we were separated from our ancestry and our culture and brought here to not try to do anything. We were brought here to be dogs, to be slaves, period. And they're trying to keep us oppressed. Come on, people, we got to wake up. Do you not know our melanation means something to the sun?
Yes.
That means something to the elements. Us just being who we are means something on this earth and in the universe. Every element that's in the universe that you see in nature, it's in our bodies. That's important. Yes. That is important. And people need to recognize that. So what you see on the news, that's the reality that they're giving you. Think for yourself. Look outside, deal with your neighbors, see what's going on in your community. Let that be your reality. Yeah, it's good to know what's going on, but let's think about it, y'all. The media doesn't always tell us the whole truth, because if we did, we would know everything about them presidents before they get in office, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's be mindful. Let's think for ourselves.
Right.
And then start sharing that information. That's why what Todd is doing is so important, because he gives an opportunity for people to speak and to share their thoughts so people can have an open mind perspective. Yes. I cannot believe that I have overcome so many obstacles, and I stand to you today as a 43-year-old business owner. I'm successful. I'm a single mom, and I've been able to do this. This is my life. I'm able to do this because I access the power that Most High put inside of me. I ain't no different from nobody else. If I can do it, anybody else can do it. So I plead to you, I'll get back to the abortion in a minute, but I plead to y'all, think for yourself. Stop letting the media and other people's opinions devise your mindset, because that's incorrect. If you are experiencing life, right, and you know that you need to drink 8 bottles of water a day, and you need to eat your vegetables, and the next virus that come out here and they say, oh, you got to take all of these shots to be safe, but you already know in your mind what your grandmama told you. If you eat your vegetables and you living, you drink your water, you still living, you got pains, she done gave you these natural herbal remedies and you're better. Why in the HELL would you go out here and put some man-made pills in your body when you know everything the creator gave us, everything that we need on this earth? Everything. That's why I said in the beginning, we get so big-headed with our egos, our humanistic egos, where we feel like, oh, we're gonna manipulate this, we're gonna manipulate that. We haven't learned yet, y'all. I ain't talking about us, the conscious ones. I'm talking about the ones that ain't woke yet. You ain't learned yet.
Come on. Say it again.
It don't have to be that difficult. It don't have to be that expansive. We have everything. We don't necessarily have to go out here and get all poked and prod to get better.
Come on now, speak
Y'all
on.
know that Dr. Sebi figured out a cure for AIDS.
Yes.
Did y'all know that?
A holistic cure, though, not just a cure, but a holistic cure. It didn't involve any type of
cure.
Opioids or injections, any of that. Yes.
Y'all hear the word Todd said, holistic, meaning herbal from the earth, not manufactured with chemicals. Come on, y'all. Yes. Let's start thinking for ourselves. This abortion issue is wrong. Don't nobody have a right to tell me what I'm going to do with my vagina. It's mine. Yeah. And if I decide to keep a child, that's my decision. Okay. Yes, me and the child's father need to talk about it, but sometimes let's keep it real. We got kids out here getting raped by their family members. Yeah, that's wrong. Their asses need to be in jail. And like that child, if she gets pregnant, she needs to get an abortion. What the hell? What the fuck? Excuse me, Todd. I'm sorry.
This is Black Haze Unapologetic. You can no, that's fine. That's all. Go ahead.
But I mean, come on, y'all. Let's start thinking for ourselves. Spirituality, if we just take some time off of electronics and you just go out in nature and you're just quiet and you recognize how to absorb the now.
Come on.
That is a life-changing experience. Life-changing. Yes. We have the knowledge, y'all. We have the knowledge. Go ahead, Todd. What were you going to say?
I just wanted to circle back to the comment you said the gentleman made about, being a victim of rape and having a pregnancy come out of that could be, he was trying to put, I guess, a positive spin on something that's really terrible.
And he shouldn't have even he should have just deleted that comment.
But that goes back to what I'm saying. I can never, I have children, of course, but I can never carry a baby. So I'm not at a position to speak on that. You know what I mean? I can tell how my opinion of it, but to impose what I believe to be right on another individual when I myself never have to worry about running that risk of, what if I was a victim of incest? What if I was a victim of rape or any other type of sexual assault? That means that not only am I wearing the trauma from that sexual assault, I'm also going forward with at least almost 10 months of a constant reminder, and then to put that person here, even if you gave them up for adoption, to go through the trials and tribulations of pregnancy and childbirth, knowing how this came about is cruel and unusual punishment. You're essentially assigning a sentence of punishment to the party that's the victim. That is inherently wrong, no matter how you try to look at it. And then moral compass, you can't have one more thing, I'll let you go. You can't have a convenient moral compass. Like you want to talk to these Bible thumpers and these people like Shorty that was in Set It Off. I don't know if you've seen the comments that she made, where she was like, this was a great day when you just basically retarded the growth and efforts of the women's movement. You took it way back almost 50 years and you're celebrating this. As I said, and I'm going to leave it at this and let you go back. You're not going to stop women from having abortions. You're going to make it more difficult and less safe for them to do so.
Mm-hmm. So. And what's going to end up happening is, I'm sorry, but it's going to get violent.
Yeah, it already is.
Because rape is serious.
Yeah.
And men, I'm not saying you, Todd, I'm talking about the insensitive brothers. For some reason, they think that our pussies are just theirs to just do whatever they want to do with. That's not real. Remember, y'all, we all came from an African woman.
DNA. Yes, you got it.
A woman has the ovaries. A woman has the body to be able to carry the baby. The woman is the one that can lactate and feed the child. So if you're disrespecting the woman, you're disrespecting life. Come on. Let's stop being ignorant and going along with the status quo because this famous person said, this man, fuck that shit. Yeah. Think for your damn self. How can you disrespect your woman? You're disrespecting your life, your own life. Because think about it. If somebody said, such and such parent, you can't have your child, you got to do this with your body and all of this. That mom shouldn't be subjected to that because she's already having to carry the child. She's already having to take on the responsibility for a whole nother life. A man can't even fathom that. I don't care if you got a single dad or not. You cannot tell a woman how it is to carry a child.
Right.
You can't. And then that connection after that. Yeah, and some people say, you know what, adoption is an option. Man, shut the hell up with that shit. Because adoption is how some of these kids are getting in the damn human trafficking ring. Let's stop playing these games, y'all. This is a human world. We are humans. It's okay, we are spiritual beings trapped in a physical body. We're humans, right? So that means there's certain things that we need. We need love, or whatever, you know, that person's definition of love is. We need care, shelter, whatever that definition for that individual is. To tell somebody what they're doing with their vagina and their reproductive organs is not it.
It's not.
What they need to do is crack down on these police officers, these law enforcement agencies who are disrespecting our women, our pregnant women, and our unarmed men, and doing excessive things in their job because they got the title. Crack down on that shit and leave our pussies and our reproductive organs alone. Because without us, there is no you. Like Tupac said, how can you tell a woman when it's right to create life? You can't.
Right.
That's between her and the creator. So let's stop being oppressive individuals. You know, some people, you grew up in that, you can't help it. Okay, move out the way, because it's more of us now than it is of y'all. So either you fall in line or you will get trampled on. Because I ain't the only sister that's fired up about this. I'll let you know that.
There you go.
I'm not the only female. I'm just the one right now on Todd's show.
That's it. And look, the things that are funny is if you look at the cops at some of the demonstrations that broke out, or peaceful protests, like the little girl, well, she's a grown woman now, that used to play on Full House. I don't know if you saw the video of the cop shoving her down to the ground during the protest. The one that played the youngest daughter on Full House, I can't remember the actress's name, but she was out there as part of a peaceful protest, and they have video of a cop just literally grabbing her up. You know, she's not so big. She's probably like 110 pounds on a good day, and throwing her to the ground. So when you talk about the cops being out of control and then people being up in arms, yeah, we're going to be upset because this affects us. You can't say, oh, this woman got raped, or she was a victim of incest, or some kind of assault, and she has to carry a baby to term. And then if you put, especially our children, into the adoption arena, you know, Black babies never get adopted. You know, it's like hardly something that ever takes place. So then what does that leave that child? You bring a life and put it onto this plane of existence without any plans to provide or maintain for them. So then you're creating a permanent underclass again that fuels the pipeline of prison, that fuels your low wage jobs and all that.
That's what they want. That's what they want.
Exactly.
That's what they want.
So it's a method to their madness. And you can't, and the other thing that's really troublesome for me is that you have the right to believe how you believe. The people that are pro-life, that's fine. That's for you. You know, is when you try to impose that on the whole world, say, this is my belief, so we're going to stick to this. So we're just going to outright do something because I feel as though this is not what you should be doing. So me can know you can't get an abortion because, you know, that's not right. That's morally, you know, not the way you should take that path, is insanity. You can believe how you believe. The world can believe how they believe, but you cannot force people to believe the way you feel. If we're on the same page, it's fine. But if we're not, I have to respect your right. That's why it's called the right to choose. It doesn't say you have to get an abortion. It says you have that option
right to choose.
To do.
Yeah,
you know? That's insanity. Now that shift gears a little bit right now. I was late to the party on this one. I don't even know if you know about this whole McDonald's thing.
What about it?
Okay, so apparently there's a viral video that went out where a guy who has a child by a woman who has children by somebody else. Let me say that again just to make sure, because I know I talk fast sometimes. So apparently this man was in a relationship with a woman. They have a child together, but they're no longer together. But she has children by somebody else as well. The video that she recorded was him. He was bringing some food for his child to the house. He brought McDonald's to the house, but he didn't bring McDonald's for the rest of the kids. And she blacked out on him. Like, she was cussing and fussing and acting real belligerent through the whole ordeal. And then the question, the debate was he right or wrong and his feelings. I'm going to tell you how I feel about the situation, even though I know you're not familiar with the video or what took place. But there's a lot of discussion on it. It was like I didn't even know what it was about, so it made me look at it when I had a few minutes this morning. And it was just basically my thing is like this. Kids don't know the dynamic between parents. So if me and you had a child together, Mika, and the other kids were there, because I know how kids are, all the kids see is, oh, my brother or sister has McDonald's and I don't. I would never show up like that. Then again, that's just how I was raised. I know how kids are. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just exclude kids because kids only see the tangible part in front of them is the fact that this person bought McDonald's and there's none for me. So the debate was he responsible to bring McDonald's to the other kids? To me, as a man, I feel as though it was because he knew the kids were present and we're again talking about kids. Kids don't have the discernment to say, oh, well, I understand it. You know, that's his biological child. So, you know, it's no slight against me. He just provided for his child. So to me, it was jacked up for him to do it like that. The way she handled it was poorly. If you ever get a chance to look at it, she was angry. I don't know the whole reason why they're not together anymore, but she took it really went left. And she shouldn't have really recorded and put it out there for human consumption, but it was out there and it is a viral video. It just sparked a big debate. A lot of people were saying he doesn't have any type of responsibility to the child. Other people were saying that he was just wrong. In that situation.
Well, I have an opinion on it. Above all of that, though, as parents, we need to remember what we demonstrate to our kids is what they learn, not what we tell them. What we demonstrate. So that the parents right there, the baby daddy and the baby mama, they need to talk. They need to be on the same page. To me, they're both in the wrong.
Okay.
For what went down. I can understand both points of view, why he did what he did and why she went off, but they both wrong. Because we got to remember this. We're a village. We demonstrate to our kids how we need to be.
Right.
So that situation right there taught them, for one, to be selfish and for two, to go the fuck off.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
So they really need to talk. I kind of wish it was a situation where she wouldn't have put it out there on blast, because see, now not just they affected, but them kids, they watch social media. So some of them probably getting teased. See, parents don't be thinking about stuff like that. That's why I said, y'all, we need to think for ourselves and get out that Maury Povich shit. Because that ain't help nobody. You know what I'm saying? Come back to everybody should look at our ancestors. I apologize if I keep raising my voice. I'm trying not to yell.
No apology. This is Black Haze Unapologetic. It's unapologetic for a reason.
I keep apologizing, right?
Oh, yeah, cut it out. Yeah, no, never.
Okay. Our ancestors laid the foundation for how we can actually grow and develop as a culture. I'm not with either one of my children's father. I don't get along with the first father, but my second children's father is both of my girls' father, because he's an awesome guy. He and I are not together. We haven't been together for a long time. But when it comes to demonstrating things for our kids, because we understand they learn from demonstration, we work together. Even if we got to argue and hash it out on the back end, we do that away from them now. Because at first we used to do it in front of them. Like some idiots. That's why I can call somebody else an idiot, because I was an idiot too.
But you know, when co-parenting is hard though. It's not, co-parenting looks great on
it
TV.
Is difficult.
It's hard. Trust me.
It is difficult, but it can be done, because see, we are such a solid force right now. Mind you, we haven't been together. Right. So the sex part, that has nothing to do with it. It's our minds and our spirits. We're like, no, we're gonna make sure we do right by our kids.
Come on.
So those two parents with that McDonald's example, y'all need to talk. Y'all need to get in touch with your spiritual connection and really have a mature conversation on how it's supposed to go. And young man, if your child is there and the other kids are there, maybe get something for everybody that's like 99 cents if the cost is the issue, if everybody can't get a Happy Meal. But think about this. My oldest daughter went through this. Somebody in her, a couple of people in her sister's family really treated her different. And it really impacted her self-esteem. My oldest daughter, when she was little, she used to be so full of life. Then she went through that situation with them, and it really impacted her self-esteem to where she's still impacted today. Keep in mind, y'all, the first 5 years of a child's life is so important. It's the foundation.
It is.
So when we raise our kids up in animosity and chaos and organization, it takes a long time to work that shit out. Yeah. And if you as the parent can't demonstrate it, don't be mad at your kids. Fix yourself first.
Come on.
Okay, and then the mom, mom, you a queen, you a goddess, you are a creator. You can't be flipping out like that.
Oh, especially
take him to the side room, talk to him, and then you talk to the kids. But see, you're the queen. You're the one that's going to be able to influence the energy of your atmosphere. Influence it with love. We get so much more when we influence things with love as opposed to opposition, except for the oppression in this country, because ain't no love there. We coming for y'all. This ain't the last time you're going to hear Mika talking about this. We coming for the people who are trying to consistently oppress our people.
But you got to press them because they are oppressing us. You're right. You can't handle everything with just a lot of subtle gestures and just hugs and everything.
But your family, your kids, and the baby daddy, y'all got to get along. Y'all got to get up. And I'm going to bring this point up too. Check this out. The baby daddy, baby mama situation, it's okay not to be married. I ain't talking about the contract of corporate America being married. I'm talking about that commitment, that one-to-one, or we got each other's back. We're going to help each other build. Yeah. Our people lost that. Come on, we need to get that back. You're not going to always agree with your partner, but have enough dignity and love for yourself to hear what the other person has to say and compromise. Because we are parents, we are leaders. Even if we didn't ask for that position, if you got a little one looking up to you, you're a leader now. Suck that shit up, get yourself together and demonstrate excellence so they can demonstrate excellence. There is no other way. Let's stop falling back. Oh, it's okay to be lazy because social media said it's okay and it's okay for us to get these benefits. If you need the benefits, cool. Use them until you get on your feet and then fuck them benefits because it is a fucking cycle to keep you sucked in. I know because I done been through it. Right. So it ain't no time to be lazy. No, be excellent, demonstrate excellence so your kids can grow up in that. That's how we change. Because you know why shit is why this coming to me now. You know why it probably came up because they thinking nobody paying attention. Oh, let's ruffle the feathers. We got rid of the last crazy president. We got this new one in. They had a black president. Now it's time to fuck shit up again. Come on, y'all. We need to wake up, start thinking for ourselves. If we demonstrate more in excellence, at some point, they ain't going to be able to keep these stupid systematic cycles of oppression going. As long as we stay distracted, it's going to keep going. We need to wake up, operate in excellence, and demonstrate that for our kids.
You're right. That's a perfect way to say all that.
I feel like I'm busting at you, Todd.
No, you're fine. No. You know, one thing about me, I don't. You speaking from a place of, passion, and you're speaking from a perspective of you're tying in real life situations.
Yeah, I'm really burnt up about this to the point where I really want to go knock on somebody's door and be like, y'all got to talk to us. Facebook Live, Instagram Live. Why in the world, out of all the things that's going wrong in this country, did you choose abortion? Why?
Right. And what you said, it does tie into a bigger thing, because for all those people who sit back and are so, comfortable in that, I don't vote because it doesn't matter who's in office. I hope they're getting a microcosm with, the price of gas and the walking back of Roe versus Wade, because 3 of the Supreme Court justices that were appointed during the last administration between 2016 and 2020. So 45, the little orange fella had a big hand in what took place today. So it's not incidental. These things don't accidentally come about. These are things that are premeditated. They are morphed.
Say that again. I don't think they heard you. Say that again.
These things are not incidental. They are premeditated. Like, the people don't understand that the wheels are always turning. We're the hamster on the wheel. We're running. We're so busy trying to keep up, make sure we keep the lights on, so to speak, keep food in the house. Got to take the baby to A. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that time to always focus in and pay attention to what's going on. I like when you started this out, because it is a corporation. You have a social security number. The first thing they want you to do when you bring a life into the world is register them, because that's a commodity. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit here and say, I have a plan to make sure that women no longer have a right to say what they can do with their bodies, but you don't have a plan in place to support, protect, or educate these children that you want to put out into the world. In the womb, we're going to give them all the protection in the world. Outside the womb, we're just going to say, fuck the kids. You know what I mean? And we're supposed to pay with that. So I want you to be upset, not you, though, because you're already doing the work. I need that person who's sitting there, who thinks all this is innocuous. Like it's not that big of a deal to understand that this is a small part of the puzzle. You know, they will systematically attempt to eliminate us from this planet if we are not vigilant. If we don't. So we need co-parenting thing, like, oh man, if I had kind of demeanor and just maturity that I had, it'd have made my life so easy. For the fellas out there that don't understand what Mika's basically saying is, you can have a nice, tenable relationship with somebody you have a child with, even if the physical part is no longer connected, for the greater good of the children. You want to sure that atmosphere is a positive one in front of the kids. Like you said, if you got to cuss and fuss at each other, like take that away from the kids. Like you said, go for a walk or something, leave the kids to themselves and handle your business accordingly. And as men, and I'm speaking to the men right now real quick, and then I'm going to throw it back to you, Mika. But for the men, like, as a man, you should want to make sure that anybody's child, whether they're yours or not, it feels safe, protected, and helped by you. So to show up at a house full of kids, you just got a bag and be honest for your kid and be like, here you go. And got to look in the other kids' faces, and how you can look in those other kids' faces and be comfortable with that. You got to check yourself on. That's just
there was a little spitefulness there. He didn't do that just all of altruism, because the other kids would have got some too. Yeah,
he was being petty.
That's immature.
He was being petty. And one of the things I know she spoke about, she did say in her rant, she was going off on him though. When they were together, he would buy for her kids too. So I guess once the vagina was cut off, I guess
pettiness. And what is that? That's just breeding more pettiness. Right. Come on, y'all. We adults. Go the fuck out.
Yeah, that's it. There's not a whole lot to that.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot to that at all.
You know what's really sad though? Who's going to be most impacted is those kids, not those parents. The kids.
That's
what's wrong. Yeah.
Is what needs to be. I'm a big advocate for kids. Like, grown people, however you got here, whatever, once you get to a certain level of maturity as a grown up, you know, whatever you have going on, you have better, you know, devices to handle that. Kids though, if you let kids be kids, they'll be kids. It's when you throw all that grown up stuff into them is when they act a different way. Like your daughter, you know, I can't imagine how that is, that you have people just blatantly doing stuff against you and you don't even understand why. It's like, you know, the baby knows she didn't do anything to these people. So where's this animus coming from and why is it directed toward me? She shouldn't have to process something like that. I mean, so that's, you know, I don't understand. And I've seen other people in similar situations do that too. And I don't understand how the child becomes a target of anybody's anger.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You have it. I'm telling you.
Really good points. Yep. One thing I want to just mention, self-accountability. If everybody can understand what self-accountability is and stop blaming everybody else, be self-accountable for your own self. Just think about that. If we be self-accountable for the things that we're supposed to do in our own lane, I really think we could get a whole lot more done. We always you doing this wrong. You need to fix this. You need to do this different. Nah, man, what you supposed to be doing? Look at yourself. Fix you first.
Come on.
If everybody can just maintain their own level of true self-accountability, let's just think about how we could come together then and really get some changes done. But until we keep allowing social media drama, this Maury Povich little mentality from the 90s keep us driving into the future, they're going to continue the same type of cycles of trying to distract us from really making them be self-accountable. This is a land. This is our land. This is our land. The Corporation of America is a business, but this is our land. Our people cultivated this land. Well, before the slaves were brought here, our people from Africa were already here. This is our land. How dare you, corporate America, try and make us pay for our land? Come on. That's what I'm saying, yo. We need to wake up and stop being distracted by all this stupid shit. Now, yes, the topics need to be touched on. That's not the distraction. It's the other stuff that we get. Oh, it's so important for my nails to be done. Oh, it's so important for me to look better than the next person. No, what's really important is to make sure that we maintain our vaginal rights and we make sure that the police are not killing our kids and throwing pregnant women down and beating females and just shooting up folks. That's what's important. Come on, folks. Let's bring the knowledge. I'm gonna throw out some authors. Dr. Anthony Browder is one of my favorite historians of all time. I'm gonna tell you why. That brother is so smooth and succinct with what he says. He's done so many years of history of our story, archaeology, and research. So we don't have to guess what our ancestors did. He's got it in his books. It's online. It's on YouTube. It's a whole lot of people, but Dr. Browder is a great place to start for me because it opened my eyes. One of the most wonderful statements I heard him say on the David Banner show was, slavery is a part of our history. It's not the beginning. We are the cultivators of this earth. Our ancestors, y'all.
Come on.
It's why civilization is how it is. If you look outside, and you see all of these beautiful things, it's because our ancestors were here, and because of our ancestors doing the work, that's why we have what we have. Some people say, oh, I've heard an argument, oh, the Caucasians are so smart, because no, they're not. They're stillers. And I'm not racist. I love white people. I love Chinese people. I love all people because we all for real came, remember, from the same Black African queen in Africa hundreds of thousands of years ago. But my point is this, y'all. We have to start being self-accountable and thinking for ourselves, using common sense, and stop following the status quo of what we know does not make sense. Let's think about it. Would we ask somebody to bake a 3-layer cake in a microwave? No. If somebody tried to do that, would it work? No. Because that's not what you do. You can't bake a 3-layer cake. You need an oven. So let's stop, using the microwave version of what they told us we are. Let's look for ourselves into the ancestors and know who we are so we understand what we're capable of. We don't need all this drama to get us distracted, y'all. Hold them accountable at every level, local, state, and federal, in the community. Hold these leaders accountable. Most of all, be self-accountable. Because when you're self-accountable, you get your shit together, then your energy starts flowing and things change. Doesn't change being stuck in the cycle of drama and being caught up in shit that's not important.
We got to divorce ourselves from a lot of things that have been passed down with what was under the guise of good intent. I'm gonna do it first for me. Like usually I don't refer to scripture, but when you were talking, it made me remember something in 1 Corinthians 14, verses 34 and 35. And this is it. I'm gonna say it exactly as written in the Bible. It says the woman should keep silent in the churches, for they are not permitted to speak, but should be in submission, as the law also says. If there's anything they desire to learn, let them ask their husbands at home. See, when you get too far into your beliefs, as opposed to what is a logical progression of growth for everybody, whether they're male or female, then you can accept a decision like Roe versus Wade. You can accept being marginalized as a people because you're sitting there thinking we must suffer in this plane of existence, and then we can accept paradise after we leave this plane of existence instead of getting those things while you're here and living your life to the fullest every day. And this is not, I'm not a Christian or anything, but there are a lot of things that are in a lot of books that hold a lot of weight, as far as keeping you submissive, keeping you docile, keeping you timid, and also forgiving you for every wrong that was ever done to you. You were given that book at that particular time when it was illegal for us to even read and write. And that book was read to us and religion was handed to us, not our spirituality. Religion was handed to us at a certain point in time where we were vulnerable and we held on to that and we passed it down. That's why people speak like that. The gentleman that was in your comments, making that horrendous comment, the shorty that was headed off, who I like her as an actress, but I wish she never spoke. Like, she was euphoric. I'm more like Janelle Monáe. You know what I'm saying? Janelle Monáe was like, fuck the Supreme Court. I love Janelle Monáe anyway. That's a topic for another time. But just the fact that she was at an awards show and she felt strong enough to speak like that versus Elise, I think her name is Elise Neal, is the actress from Set It Off. Mm. And a lot of other things, some Tyler Perry movies and stuff like that. This for her to be so happy. This is a joyous occasion. Like, we've rejected all progression that's made, and we're just going to throw it back. We're back to 1978 again. You know what I mean? And people don't know about the 70s. I know you were a year from being here by the time 1978 got here. But in the 70s, it was in the 70s when women weren't even allowed to open up a bank account or get a credit card without their husband signing off on it. We're not that far removed from a lot of things, you know. In your lifetime, there has been a lot of gains, a lot of progression, a lot of wonderful things that were needed done. Like just the fact that we had to pass laws for my sisters, beautiful sisters like yourself, to wear your hair like you have it right now, shows you that we might be advanced as far as technology is concerned. We are a first world country, but a lot of the things we do are third world, even fourth world perspective. Like, you want to have everybody have a say, but you don't want to just put a blanket over everybody else who has a different opinion. And that's what we want to fight and combat. And when you speak with passion, I love it, because we need that passion. We got to repurpose the energy that we have, like you said, for, you know, social media and for everything else that has nothing to do with us. If you were selling sneakers right now, you'd have people lined up around your house, beating your door down, blowing your phone up, showing up to your office like, hey. But when you sit there and talking about things like this, you know, this is not Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, people aren't paying as much attention.
Right. And we need to change that. Yeah.
And that's
it's a mindset. Two things I just want to touch on what you said. Being submissive isn't always a bad thing. I feel as though in some cases it's appropriate. You know what I'm saying?
But as a man, let the man don't get carried away with her being submissive. For her to submit to her, you have to put yourself in a position where she has a reason to submit to you.
Right.
You gotta be
right. Yeah, right. Okay.
Let me throw that there, because you're like, okay, I'm letting you continue. I just want to throw it before the first, like, you're supposed to be submissive now. Yeah, you have to provide an environment where she feels comfortable to submit.
Right. And that includes protection, respect, and all of that. Yeah.
Say that one more time. I got to hear that one more time. Say it again. It is more
protection and respect.
Yes.
All of that.
It is more to being a man than just having a penis. I'm telling you. You know what I'm
saying? So look, to me, this law does not protect or respect females at all. Because like you alluded to at the beginning, abortions are going to happen, but now it's going to be a situation either where they go to a different state or it's unsafe. And then we got more people dying or living sick and ill.
Right. Come on.
And another thing you said, though, again, back to self-accountability. You know how someone said it to me earlier. Yeah, if I would have dissed her, Shamika, I would have got about 500 shares, but I chose to take the high road. Yeah, I'm glad you did take the high road, because check this out. Them 500 shares, yeah, but they don't mean nothing. That's just spreading 500 times something negative.
People like mess.
They don't mean nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So our mindset definitely needs to mature. I say let's be divisive in how we are going to counteract. They done already showed us their tricks, y'all. It ain't that many. It's always a cycle of oppression. So it's time for us to already expect the next one. The COVID situation, yes, I recognize people were affected and we lost a lot of people.
We did. But we lost more people to poor diet, though. You look at the COVID numbers, yeah, they were terrible. And
they were terrible. But y'all, let's just think about this. It was another distraction. At any time during the COVID situation, did you hear a doctor get on I'm not talking about on YouTube and have these small talks. I'm talking about on a national scale. say increase your vitamin C, eat green leafy vegetables,
No.
make sure that you got plenty of water, you're getting sunshine. Did we hear any of that? Any of the immune system strategies?
No.
Did we hear any of that? No, we didn't. So y'all, it's a game. Remember, Dr. Sebi found a cure for AIDS. That's right. Dr. Sebi did that a while ago. Has that been put out on national news? No.
He was deemed crazy.
Come on, y'all. Let's think.
They try to make him schizophrenic, you know?
Right. Let's think, y'all. That man ain't want nothing crazy about that man. What's crazy is the people that's running this country.
Right.
Or the 1%, I should say, that's really running the country.
And the wealth gap keeps stretching out. And two things I want to touch on, because it's very pivotal what you're saying with that. If you want to know why nobody spoke like that, I don't mean you, Meek, I mean just people in general. Because for you to get healthy, your immune system not be compromised, you're tapping into the bottom line of the pharmaceutical companies that make billions, almost trillions of dollars annually off of you being sick.
In the corporation of America. Mm-hmm.
Right. Because, and the reason why you'll never see Dr. Fauci and those people speak and say, well, you should get out here, exercise more, get rid of those processed foods, something they should ban and outlaw, get rid of everything that has the GMOs in it, is because for a vaccination, one shot, the vaccine, it profits them $700. It costs them about $60, $70 to make the vaccine. So they're 10 times profit every time you get vaccinated. So that's why you need 2 shots, in some cases 3. And they want you to come back because you do the math on that. I'm producing this for about $70 a pop per inoculation, but then I'm making 10 times what it cost me to put this out there to you. So of course, their big pharma and that's what runs us the money. Follow the money trail. You'll find out why you do certain things. Marijuana was in years, but cigarettes have always been legal. They're going to kill you. If they don't kill you, they're going to make you sick. So then everybody can make money off you being sick as you go through all your cancer treatments and stuff. So you hit it on the head. Nobody's going to tell you to eat green leafy vegetables. Nobody's going to tell you to start a garden. If you're in the area that you have a yard and you can do that, they're going to tell you, hey, we have this shot.
Look, buy this new fertilizer. If you put it in your grass, it'll protect you from COVID.
Right. Everything is about, distraction. Like, no, we're not going to actually cure you. We're going to mitigate your symptoms until we get to the next thing for you,
So that's, and to my point, that's another description, y'all, of the cycle of oppression.
Right.
They're playing on our ignorance because of things we don't know.
Yes.
I'm telling y'all, look at Dr. Browder. If anybody hasn't ever heard of Dr. Anthony Browder,
come on.
BROWDER, please Google him. Especially look at his show, parts 1 and part 2 of the David Banner Show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ignorance, savagery, that is not who we are.
Not at all.
We are intelligence. We are brilliance. We are innovators. You know what? I went to an exhibit last year in Richmond, and it was the archaeological digs that they found what they call Atlantis. So, and I know for a fact some of that stuff was fake. However, some of it was also and the stuff from our ancestors, y'all, it's replications of what we have now.
Right.
What we're using now, ladles, spoons, pots, they had all of that back then. So you can't tell me we got to have the corporation of America to be successful. No. We got to remember who we are. That's why we need to look back into our ancestry and learn about the spiritual aspect. If you connected to religion, okay, cool. But look at it from a spiritual aspect from this day forward, from a spiritual perspective.
Until we learn to sit down, though, because somebody will say, okay, I can only sit down with people who are like me, meaning that if you're a Baptist and I embrace Islam, we can't do anything for the greater good. If you're Catholic.
And I wonder why people think that, because when we look at the whole scheme of things, we're all connected. It don't even by race. We're all connected. So when I go out here, if I decide I want to go out here and throw a temper tantrum, everybody in my community, the Asians, the whites, and the blacks, and the Latinos, we're all affected by Mika's parade of emotions. You know what I'm saying? we're all connected. So we got to be able that whole humanistic ego shit.
Come
we
on.
got to get rid of that. That is really in the way. It's okay to have an ego because sometimes, we got to pump ourselves up and be confident, but put that shit on balance. That don't need to lead everything, because then we end up in a situation like this. Corporation of America, here it is 2022, and we still playing these oppressive games, and ain't nobody really held them accountable yet.
Accountability is big. We had a brother that was just handcuffed, put in the back of a van, like Freddie Gray. Now he's paralyzed because they didn't even secure him in the restraint. They just put him in the van.
And that's straight up dumb. That's ignorance. That was intentional. So we need to be intentional on what we do. We need to be intentional on what we do.
Yeah, is a police chief that just got busted. I forget what state it is just now, because all his officers were trained at the shooting range with black targets. None of the targets were Caucasian. All the targets conveniently happened to be black, and that they were learning to practice shooting. So, this is, as I said before, this is not accidental. We are just not the most disenfranchised people because we're just a victim of bad luck. This is profitable.
Intentional. There is intentional.
Exactly.
Yeah. So our response needs to be intentional.
Right. Exactly. We need to stop acting like, first of all, Black people are too quick to accept this caste system, which says the hierarchy goes as they're first and we're somewhere down the ladder. And another thing, we need to get a specific agenda. Everybody needs to come to the table, and everybody needs to agree for the greater good. Your personal agenda, put that to the side. But until we can put a dent in this wealth gap, until we can put a dent in the social injustices that affect every single person that we know that looks like us, then we're never going to get anywhere, because it is something we have total control over. We spend, as Black people outside of our community, what will put us in the top 10 in the world as a world power, if we take that money and stop putting it out of the community and transform it, turn it around and put it into our community. That would bring them to our table. We don't have to rely on them. They would have to rely on us, but because they know you're going to keep spending your money trying to buy that Gucci stuff when Gucci doesn't even want Black people wearing their stuff, as opposed to supporting me, supporting Black Haze, supporting the people that are out here doing the work, supporting that young lady that you see who just started that business up the street. Until we change that mindset, we walk all that back and unlearn, they're never going to take us seriously. They're never going to really be paying attention to anything we have going on.
Right. And I really think, I have me and my children's father, we talk about things like this. And as you and I are talking, I'm going to share this with him too.
Oh, yeah, share with everybody. Yeah,
it's kind of a situation where, ideally it would be great if we could all come together, but we're so dispersed. But one of the first strategies is to be self-accountable and learning who you are. Because once you understand who you are, you recognize you don't have no limits. Right. This is our earth. Our Creator gave us this to be able to live life in its fullest, not in an oppressive state. So once you recognize that you're not supposed to live in an oppressive state, the next time somebody tries that, you're going to be fired up like me.
I love it.
Ain't nobody going to tell me what to do with my vagina.
Right.
Oh, If I want to have kids, I have kids. If I don't, it should be my choice. Nobody has that right. Just like I don't have any right to tell a man what he going to do with his penis. Hey. It ain't no law saying if you got more than 5 kids, we're going to cut your penis off. Come on.
I tell you what that would do for a lot of us. That would shut that down real fast. But in a serious note, what people don't realize, not you, Mika, but what people don't realize, there has never, ever in the history of this country been any legislation passed to regulate anything a man has going on with his body. Never.
Yeah.
There's never been one law, not any proposal saying regulate what I can do with my dick as it pertains.
Because rape. I'm gonna bring this to the table too. Rapists get less time than brothers I know in the 90s and the 80s got for selling weed.
Come on, say it. And still incarcerated in states that are making money off of selling weed now. That's still life.
And let's just think about what one rape can do to a female. It don't only hurt her body, it can give her a disease. It hurts her mental. Physiologically, the trauma of rape can last an entire lifetime. So you mean to tell me the powers that be ain't got that much common sense to know that a rapist with a reckless ass dick, out here raping females, gets out of jail before my brother trying to feed his children, selling weed. Come on, that's intentional, y'all. That ain't no mistake. That's not dumb. They dumb because they think that way. It's okay, but they're not dumb in terms of, oh, the rape doesn't matter because no, they know. They know. Come on. If this is the corporation of America, so wake up. They don't care about us as being human beings. So we need to start caring for ourselves, our family, and where we are, our neighborhoods and our communities. So to me, the time where we can rely on, I remember back in 6th grade learning about civics. Oh, cool. If I got a question or I need something, I can go to the city council or I can go to the state legislation. Fuck that shit. Now, I love our city council here.
But it was a lot of work getting that together, though. You know what I mean? That was a lot of work.
Right. But my point is, though, we need to be self-accountable. Stop depending on the powers that be because they don't give a fuck about us. We need to be self-accountable for the things that we do within our household and within our communities.
Right. That's 100%. I love it. I love it. At the end of the day, we have everything we need in place to combat the things that are causing our communities to be so chaotic. We just have to get people to listen to the voices out there who are speaking common sense because I cannot rely on my neighbor up the street to come by and cut my grass. You feel that waiting for somebody to come do something for you, it's never going to happen. Now, there are people who advocate for us, speak on our behalf, but at the end of the day, it takes strength in numbers. That solidarity is that we lack. We have the financial means. We don't understand commerce like we should, but the thing that really causes us trepidation is the fact that we can't all sit at the table. And you've been in those meetings, you've been there. We got a lot of strong-willed, intelligent people in the room, but because this part of what Mika does doesn't fit my agenda, this part of what Black Haze does, I don't like the way he speaks on this, we can't even get the whole reason why we're there to the head of the table to get that part accomplished. And on the other side of that, when it does come together, it's a beautiful thing. The thing that you talked about, I was so glad that opportunity to go out and make Sankofa this year because it just reminded me of what we can be.
Yes.
That's a
wasn't that energy something?
Oh, it was beautiful, beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. It was good to see everybody, good to connect with the people that are out there. I just bring it up because that should be more of the norm. That is really truly what we are as opposed to what we're portrayed to be. It was such a powerful day. The energy was so right. So many beautiful people that spoke and really, I was just happy to be out the house for something that was business related. But then when I got there, it brought back things I had been missing. That my soul had lacked that nourishment. The energy out there was just a beautiful thing, and it just re-energized me and put in perspective why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Why you do it the way you do it, why all the community organizers and the beautiful who actually, do take a lot of crap without a lot of compensation for speaking the truth, holding people accountable. That accountability piece is paramount in what we need. We can do this. We have the ability to be so much better. First, we got to recognize.
Yeah.
Like you say, we talk about Maury Povich. I don't even know if Maury Povich is still on, but I hope he's not. And if he is, I hope nobody's watching him. And like I said, Dr. Browder, please, if you ever check that brother out, please. David Banner has a lot of great stuff. Him, Killer Mike, some brothers are really out there doing it, and then people like you, I'm not going to let you screw it over. You are a walking and talking indictment of, I'm not going to have an excuse for how things were to how I am now. That's why I'm so glad that you had the time to come on and talk. I wanted you to do this, and it was situations where I couldn't link up with you, you couldn't link up with me. So I'm glad we had a chance to do this. And I need you to come back. We're gonna have to leave a lot on the table because we were really over time.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. This has been fun.
Yeah, you were great. And I'm so glad you took the time to bless the Black Cave with that. All your intelligence, your grace, your reality, your passion. So you got to come back. I don't know if you're gonna be able to come back.
Well, you let me, we'll work it out. Yeah, this was cool. I don't really do this much. I'm always volunteering somebody else to speak, but this right here, I had to say something because I want people to know, once you understand what peace what our creator is,
Come on.
nobody else has the right to oppress you. Period.
Right. Say that again. That sounds so great. You gotta say that one more time for the people. Just please say it.
Once you understand and know what that piece is, what Most High, our creator, you recognize that nobody else has the right to oppress you. Period. I don't care who they are. Nobody has that right. If our creator in its fullness can create this universe and its magnificence is not oppressing us, how dare some two-legged thing walk around here try to tell me what I'm gonna do with my reproductive organs? I don't think so. So no, we live boundlessly, y'all. Look into our ancestry. We got the internet, okay? Kemet, K-E-M-E-T.
Hey, come on, tell me what Kemet is.
Name of Egypt.
Come on, there you go.
K-E-M-E-T. Look it up. Look at some real things. I'm telling you, Dr. Browder, Dr. Asa Hilliard, Carter G. Woodson. It's so many wonderful leaders who have already done the research. Carter G. Woodson got the blueprint of what we need to do to bring our people in solidarity. We just need to do it. And as a matter of fact, I started yesterday creating these. You know how I do the little visuals. I'm gonna shut up in a minute. I'm implementing now some of the conscious information that we need to hear, because what I recognize on Facebook and stuff, you know, when it's like a photo or something like that, you get the more likes, you get the more views, and it circulates more. We about to start circulating consciousness information.
Come on.
No drama, no mess, conscious information.
I love it. I love it.
And I love y'all. I love you. Thank you so much. I love your family. Thank you for everything that you do for us.
Always. Same to you. Same to you. We're going to connect. Definitely going to get with you. And then we're going to have to do this again, because this has been my pleasure. I'm honored.
Thank you. My pleasure too. Thanks for having me on.
Well, peace and blessings.
All right. Peace.